But we're on Runes of Lordaeron, and this is quite a nice map for an RMP to get a fear off on Hafu. So we'll see how this goes as the gates get ready to open.
Yeah, and Gravitas must be kicking themselves at the moment for not using Frost earlier on. Maybe they assumed fnatic might try their original setup of Warlock, Druid, Warrior. Gates are open.
And we don't actually have Sacrifice onto Hafu. She just stood in Glix Urine. And they are going to now go offensive. So Reagan going to lead this one. Glix is actually going to get sacked, and you can watch him just at the back of your screen. He is going to trinket that a little bit late on. Reagan goes straight on to Eli. Now he's not in a position where he can use Bladestorm. He needs to get some more HP. He's going to get a bot. This could leave Hafu potentially as a target. That is going to be dispelled down, so in comes a shield wall as well. No dismantle onto the top of it. Reagan in all sorts of trouble. In comes a fear, and there is going to be a poly onto Hafu. That is going to be broken. Finally, Reagan might get healed up, put into another Frost Nova, and now gets onto his target. This is going to be a time he has to use Bladestorm, and here he goes. Bladestorm used. He's going to switch over to the two-hand, but look, there's no Mortal Strike up, so this is a mistake in my opinion. And Eli sitting quite comfortably gets put into a hodge. Finally, MS comes up onto Eli. In comes an intercept. Glix is going to be potted off, and Eli looking to escape the situation. Reagan is going to be put into a deep freeze. That's going to be broken with a freedom, and Eli gets a great fear off onto Glix, and Glix not going to get that broken with Tremor, and Reagan looking in a horrible situation as Potty is up on Hafu, and Reagan eventually goes down, and Gravitas Gaming, you know, they took it, and they should have, but fair play to fnatic, and still brilliant play to stay alive that long. And Reagan, unfortunately, had no, position to actually use that Bladestorm, to a great offensive position. When you're low on health as a warrior, you can't do it because it allows you not to go, defensive stance, but also, you can put a shield up with it, but still, you have no options for those 6 seconds, and your health can just drop. But, still, Gravitas Gaming picked this one up. Not as we expected, though, 3-2.
Yep, not as we expected. And fnatic looking really strong, and maybe with Hafu having a bit more practice on Shaman, a bit more time training, they could be even stronger. I would have liked to have seen her play a bit more offensive, but really the amount of global cooldowns she had was quite limiting considering the amount of pressure Gravitas were putting onto her in that particular game. Gravitas started out putting in a lot of early CC on her, forced her to use the Nature Swiftness really early onto Reagan, forced her to use her Trinket really early as well. She then got a brilliant fake heal and forced the counterspell from Selex, which really helped fnatic just hang on for a little bit longer. But in the end, it was all too much control from Gravitas Gaming, and they disposed of fnatic quite cleanly.
Yeah, they did, and at the end as well, Glix wasn't in a position to get a Tremor Totem. Obviously, they might have taken care of Hafu, putting him in a sheep and killed that Tremor Totem, but still it has a radius, and he was taken out of the game, and maybe they could have turned him to a healer in the last kind of dying seconds, but still, unfortunate for fnatic, and I do feel for him in all fairness. I certainly don't think that they got strong off Warrior, Lock, Druid with this kind of performance, but they've got a long way to go. Not to catch up, but certainly to kind of utilize the classes they play and well. But I do think at level 80, things will change, and I do believe that they will be back on more similar classes, and I'll be interested to see how Shamans turn out in level 80, but certainly we might see some Death Knights in there. But yeah, so Gravitas do go through, and they will be in the final 4.